The business of Marienburg is business. Towering over the dank and fetid wastelands stands the greatest city of the old world. Straddling the mouth of the Reich as it empties into the sea of claws, nearly a coin makes its way in or out of the empire without first passing through Marienburg. Imperial citizens might scoff at the perceived pretensions and snobbery of the people of Marienburg, as jealousy so often breeds animosity. But such scorn is misplaced. If unearned wealth and status vex them so, they should look instead to the decrepit nobility they serve. In Marienburg, pedigree counts for little. In Marienburg, those with the cunning and determination to make their own fortune are free to do so without their enterprise being usurped by spiteful lordlings. In Marienburg, all that stands between the life of a common man and the life of a prince is the limits of one's ambition. As the old wastelander saying goes, let each man have his say, let each tend to his own business, and it will be clear sailing for all. Proud as the city is to forge its own identity and customs, without concern for the imperial norm, some concessions must be made. The Directorate, a collective of religious figures, learned men, and the heads of wealthy merchant families, emerged as the city's government after a succession crisis in the year 2378 of the imperial calendar. However, the haughty blue bloods of the empire could not bear to see such a magnificent city ruled by what they arrogantly consider to be common grocers. As such, the position of stadtholder was created to appease the noble houses of the empire. Appointed by the Directorate, the stadtholder acts as the official head of state of Marienburg, though in truth power still remains with the Directorate, with the stadtholder's responsibilities being little more than dressing in fine clothes and charming foreign dignitaries. Until recently, the position of stadtholder was held by Luitpold van Rammerswyck. That was until he, along with the entirety of the van Rammerswyck family and their household retinue, were found massacred in the family estate. No official explanation has been given as to how the gruesome massacre unfolded, or who was responsible, though there are whispers abound in the city that a demon of corn was responsible for the deed. Shameless gossip and speculation, to be sure. After all, who amongst the fine citizens of Marienburg would possess the will, the knowledge, and the sheer depravity to enter into a pact of conspiracy with the ruinous powers? Whilst the city eagerly awaits the Black Cats to finish their investigation into the Van Rammerswyck massacre, the Directorate must push on with the business of government and elect a new stadtholder. The position is not one of much appeal to the members of the Directorate. Serving as a silk-dressed puppet tasked with wooing crusty imperial nobles is hardly a dignifying experience, nor a worthwhile use of one's time. And so it was to everyone's great surprise when Jan van de Kuipers announced his intention to stand for this most inglorious office. As the head of the Van de Kuipers family, Jan is not only the richest man in Marienburg, but quite possibly the richest man in the world. From the Emperor himself to the Ice Queen of Kislev to the Princes of Telea, all those with crowns on their heads owe a debt to Jan van de Kuipers. Naturally, the other members of the Directorate were suspicious as to his intentions. However, they too are indebted to the House of Van de Kuipers, as well as having vast portions of their financial interests tied to Jan's various enterprises. As such, they made little objection to his ascent to stadtholder. Jan, however, did not keep his intentions hidden from the Directorate, instead laying his plans bare before them. He told of how his house had provided many generous grants and donations over the years to all the most prestigious colleges of the empire. In return, they had provided him with invaluable information. The winds of magic were in a state of change, becoming more potent and volatile than ever before. This all the colleges agreed upon. A great transformation would soon be upon the world, a cataclysmic reshuffling of power. The great would be brought low, and the low would wield the power of gods. For too long Marienburg has lived under the shadow of the empire, and when the inevitable storm comes, they surely would sink together. That is, unless the greatest city in the world at last shakes off the shackles of subordination and strives to achieve the full potential of which it is capable. A new stadtholder would emerge, not a puppet or ceremonial figurehead, but a true leader, decisive and absolute. A leader that would marshal the full might of Marienburg and the wasteland, and out of the coming chaos a new empire would emerge, vibrant, innovative, and powerful. This, he promised, would be their greatest investment, an investment where the returns are not measured merely in the weight of gold, but in kingdoms. A new stadtholder, a new Marienburg, and a brave new world. The future of mankind depends on Marienburg. They might not realize it yet, but they will very soon. For the preservation and empowerment of the city, no expense shall be spared, no battle left unfought. A new imperial calendar has been drawn, and it begins today. The sons of Marienburg will not go quietly into the coming oblivion. They will deliver the oblivion to those that resist their ascension. Old powers will be humbled, all debts will be repaid, and all peoples will recognize the supremacy of Jan van de Kuipers, stadtholder of Marienburg. The most pressing piece of business for the new stadtholder was to deal with the Cluster I tribe, which had ravaged the lands south of Marienburg, causing a flood of refugees into the city. With a small force assembled, Jan marched toward the town of Klessen to liberate it from the greenskin invaders.
I will marshal the men. To war! We are doomed! We must not relent!
With Clesson liberated, Jan sent a command back to the capital, ordering Erasmus van Noort, a promising commander from an upcoming family, to make for Clesson with a contingent of reinforcements. Jan met with Erasmus on the outskirts of the town. "I have been old for a long time," Jan said, "but being on the battlefield has instilled such vigour in me, I feel like a young man again." "I do not see an old man next to me," Erasmus replied. "I see a man whose prime is yet to come." Jan gave Erasmus a sideways glance. "You do not need to flatter me, Erasmus. I am old, much too old to be leading armies. My coming here was foolish. It is only for the favour of Myrmidia that I am still living. Still, as stadtholder, I owe it to the people to deliver them at least one victory." "And what a victory it was, Lord Stadtholder," Erasmus said. "The shopkeepers dealing in ale or Cathaean fireworks have been doing a roaring trade. The celebrations have become so rowdy, I'm sure the undead all the way in Sylvania can hear the revelry." "Ale and fireworks," Jan said. "Why does that fill me with a sense of forebode? It seems I will be remembered as the reason Marienburg burned to the ground." Erasmus laughed. "The Blackcaps are doing a fine job of dispersing the crowds before they grow too wild. Don't worry, Marienburg will still be standing when you return." "I am glad to hear it, as I plan to return shortly." "What about Erlach?" Erasmus asked, forgetting himself. "Apologies, Lord Stadtholder. I did not mean to be so." Jan raised his hand, quieting the young rebel. "It is my intention that Erlach should still be liberated from the Greenskins, but I am no commander, and I have business to attend in the city. I have made many mistakes in life, some never spoken of to anyone, but elevating your family from obscurity, if you do not mind my saying, is not one of them. I have great hopes for you and your brothers. I believe you'll be instrumental in the times ahead. To my point, I have decided to create the office of Lord Commandant, to act as the commanding officer of our forces in the Stadtholder's absence. As a symbol of my faith in you, I would name you as the first Lord Commandant of Marienburg." Erasmus was taken aback. He tried to respond, but the words caught in his throat. "Please do not become emotional, Erasmus. It is unbecoming of a Lord Commandant. I will depart tomorrow and return to Marienburg. You will take command of our forces and march on Erlach. I will send a messenger with further instructions once you have taken the city." The two men returned to camp, where Erasmus's promotion was declared before the army. They celebrated into the night, and come the morning, Jan departed with a small retinue and returned to the capital. Emboldened by his promotion to Lord Commandant, and eager to validate the trust the Stadtholder had shown in him, Erasmus took charge of the army and made way for Erlach.
War calls!
As is their nature, the impetuous Greenskins had no time for a prolonged siege, and instead charged out to meet their enemy.
Let the fields be sown with enemy blood! blood! Kill everything! Now we strike! Forward, man! Show no mercy! They won't have! I cannot abide this! Show these fools no mercy! As they would us!
His once shining armour now stained with greenskin blood, Erasmus emerged victorious with a resounding victory. His army cut down the fleeing greenskins and resumed the siege. Only a lucky few greenskins managed to flee the battle and retreat safely to Erlach. With such a paltry force now defending the walls, Erasmus moved to bring the city into the fold of Marienburg. Considering the tiny garrison that awaited them, Erasmus, along with the ne'er-do-well Lysette Lyra, Elven Captain David Maycross, Nobleman Crispin Van Hagen, the dwarf Gazunder Woolrattler, and the menacing Sword of Soken, turned the siege into a contest. They alone would storm the walls, with some support from their archers, and made the best sword win. The cutthroat Lysette Lyra was the first to climb the walls, eager to slay as many greenskins as possible before the others joined the fray. Come the end of the battle, Lysette had tallied the most kills, giving her the bragging rights over her companions.
This stinks!
Shortly after the victory at Erlach, a rider from Marienburg came to the city with orders from the stadtholder. Erasmus was to continue on to Schilderheim, and then onward still until the cluster eyes were destroyed. Also, the dwarf Gazunder Woolrattler and the noble Crispin van Hagen were to leave for Salfen, where Willard van Noort, Erasmus's younger brother, was assembling a new army. Erasmus mustered the army at once and bid farewell to his short-time companions, cautioning them to steer clear of his brother's hot-headedness, and with that they went their separate ways.
Come, friends! Pretend it is the head of a Burgomeister you strike! We are Sigma's heirs! They are Sigma's foes!
Following the decisive victories of the Lord Commandant, and anticipating yet another at Schilderheim, the people of Marienburg were exuberant. However, their joy soon dissipated when news arrived that a great green-skinned host north of the Reich was now within striking distance of the city itself. The city prepared itself for a siege. However, the greenskins, impetuous as they might be, knew that throwing themselves against the city walls, garrisoned by a much larger force, would be foolish. Instead, they moved past the city and headed north towards Salfen, where Willard van Noort was assembling a new force. Jan quickly responded by marching towards Salfen to provide reinforcements to the town, before hastily retreating to the safety of Marienburg. With the new army and keen to outshine his brother's victories, Willard laid a trap outside of Salfen.
I will marshal the men. What does the Emperor bid? Take up the pace! To strengthen the Empire. Fight for our nation!
Unaware of the crisis unfolding downriver, Erasmus pushed on and attacked the Greenskins at Schilderheim. The one was here.
Show no mercy! They want us! To battle! I cannot abide this! The warrior priest's words fill me with rage!
Whilst his brothers sat in Schilderheim, celebrating yet another victory, Willard waited in anticipation for a greenskin attack that never came. By the time he realized where the greenskins had gone, it was too late to intercept. The cunning Muga had anticipated a trap and made instead for the town of Gorsel, which had only a small force to defend it. As the horde approached, the brave defenders of Gorsel made their defiant stand atop a small hill. Here they readied themselves to turn back the invaders. As the defenders struggled to push back the initial charge, the rest of the greenskin host moved in around the hill. Though the defenders fought bravely, they were unable to overcome the sheer numbers of the Green Tide. Those that did not flee were cut down atop the hill.